Evening, everybody. Welcome to another Thursday night live stream with yours truly, Alan Scouser. Right, first off, I'd just like to say, hope you're all well. Hope you've all had a good week. And if you've been, Blu-ray or DVD hunting, I hope you've managed to pick up some bargains. As you have probably gathered, those of you who've seen the preliminary thumbnail, that I put out, a couple of days before I go live. Um, I was so impressed by that new horror movie, Late Night with the Devil. I watched the other night. I thought to do a specially themed live stream dealing with that movie and other satanic devil related movies. So you don't have to just talk about like Late Night with the Devil. You can talk about other demonic movies like The Devil Rides Out, The Omen, movies like that. So let's get a good discussion going, guys. I'm really looking forward to it tonight. So as I say, hope everybody's well. I should point out, guys, if you see me pausing for a couple of seconds or whatever, it's just that I'm just keeping a special eye out tonight for those pestiferous trolls, So I've got me trusty moderators working with me as well, hand in hand. So they're not going to get any airplay on this channel tonight. They're just going to be ignored. So just thought I'd get that out the way. I don't want any idiots coming onto this channel. Yeah. Okay then, guys. Yeah. So as I say, yeah, I enjoyed really enjoyed a Late Night with the Devil the other night. Really impressed in that, I did go into it like, obviously, like I've seen that many crap horror movies. I did go into it with an open mind, but by George, was I impressed? Yeah, yeah. I'll be warned. If any of you's on here, you don't want to know what happens in the film, you would be advised maybe to pass by this live stream. So spoiler alert. So I'm going to go into every aspect of the film movie. So if we could try and keep the comments like limited, it's not limited just like what happens like before the end, and that'd be okay. But feel free to discuss the end, and I'm not averse to you raising that. But so as I say, any kind of satanic demonic movies and that, even books, if you want to talk about like great books, what you've read, like maybe some of you have read Dennis Wheatley, The Devil Rides Out, to The Devil Adores, anything at all to do with satanic, demonic movies. Oh, before I start going to the comments, guys, I want to show you one of bought here. Just hang on a second. I saw a trailer for this on one of the YouTube channels. It's from the Criterion label, and it's a movie called All That Money Can Buy. And it's pretty much along the lines of, selling your soul to the devil and that. It was made in, was it 1941? Yeah, 1941. And I'll just read you the back of it, guys, just to give an idea. Yeah, so All That Money Can Buy, also known as The Devil and Daniel Webster. Now, Jebez Stone is a hard-working farmer trying to make an honest living, but a streak of bad luck tempts him to do the unthinkable, bargain with the devil himself. So I'll leave it there, guys. I'm really looking forward to checking this out. But by the trailer, it looks a really good devil, selling your soul to the devil movie, yeah. So if you want to pick this up, it's on the Criterion label, yeah. So just show you the inside, guys. I've got a little booklet there all about the movie. Obviously, I'm not going to read it now until I've seen the movie and that. So I like any of these kind of movies, like where they have to sell a soul to the devil. And that it reminds me of that song, the Charlie Daniels band from 1979. The devil went down to Georgia. He was looking for a soul to steal. Yeah. Okay, then, guys. Yeah. Okay. So initial pleasantries out of the way. Let's just go through the comments. Okay. So let's see who we got in first. And we've got Vampire Jack. You okay, Vampire Jack? Evening, room. Hope you're all well. Hope you're well too. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, looking forward to tonight, Vampire Jack. Yeah, and we've got Jeff here. Jeff Joffrey. Evening, all. You okay, Jeff, mate? Thanks for stopping by. Always nice to talk to you. And we've got Brian here. Hi, Alan and everyone. You okay, Brian? Thanks for stopping by, mate. Always nice to see you. To see you, nice. And we've got 80s horror fan. Hi, Alan. You okay? Thanks for stopping by. Yeah. Thanks for turning up. You got Vampire Jack. Hope there are no spoilers for Late Night. This is what I was saying before. I pre-warned everybody, if they don't want to know, if anybody brings up anything about the end, then you might be well advised, to sort of like skip that if you can, So, but obviously it's going to be difficult with being live and that. So so just be aware, guys. There might be some spoilers in this, like, because I want to really talk about the movie in depth, because I found there was so many layers to the movie and that, and I loved. I wasn't really, like, as I said in the review, the ending was okay, but it could have been just that little bit better. We'll just leave it there, yeah. But what an awesome movie! a real breath of fresh air, brought to the horror genre. And I'm very, very pleased to say, guys, that there's going to be a special release around about September from Umbrella Entertainment. They're going to do a lovely edition, packed with special features and that. So I'm really looking forward to picking that up. Yeah. So, but it's quite a while yet to wait. Like, obviously. Jeff's saying Late Night with the Devil has a little girl in it. It is like The Exorcist. It is like The Exorcist, and also Ghostwatch, and also there's a sprinkling of Rosemary's Baby in it as well, because like the main character, of the chat show, it's like we later discover as the movie goes on, he's basically sold the soul to the devil, to further his career aims and that, So it's a little bit snidey, just like a Guy Woodhouse, in the Rosemary's Baby movie, which is another great favourite satanic movie of mine, Rosemary's Baby. Watched that many times. I always enjoy it. Now I've got the book as well by Ida 11. Yeah, but oh yeah, very very well made movie, Late Night with the Devil. Yeah, and it's so far, it's my #1 movie of 2024. Yeah, but I tell you what, guys, just diverting from the subject for a minute. I think I went from bad to worse last night because I think I've just watched my worst horror movie of 2024, Natty Knox. Anybody seen Natty Knox starring Robert Englund? Oh my God, what a complete and utter bore fest that was. Oh God, it was awful, guys. It really was. I don't want to say too much about it, guys, but you have to check it out for yourself. But oh, it was terrible. It was basically set on Halloween night and involving this serial killer. The guy that was in the Devil's Rejects is Bill Mosley. He played like a kind of serial killer, and Danielle Harris is in it. I think it's the worst movie I've ever seen Danielle Harris in that, but it was terrible, guys. It really was, yeah. So within the last week, I've watched my best horror movie of 2024, and as I say, just last night, I've watched my worst horror movie of 2024. That being Natty Knox. But say no more about that. Right, on some more comments. People coming in now, thick and fast. Brian's saying Umbrella Entertainment is releasing Late Night with the Devil on a collector's edition Blu-ray. Yeah, that's that. Yeah, that's what I just referred to, Brian. Yeah, I can't wait for that. But as I say, to wait September. But you never know. You might get another company releasing it, and a bit early. But I doubt it very much. I think a big horror movie like that, they always have a tendency, these boutique labels, to release it, don't they? Near in Halloween. Yeah, so I wouldn't bet on it being released any earlier than September. So it's a bit of a wait, but it'll be a wait. Be well worth the wait because it's a fantastic movie. I really enjoyed it. I really did. Yeah, very creepy in parts, especially that girl, the way she came on and the way she was just staring at the camera and that. Oh, and the part with the medium, the regurgitating medium. Oh, that was really gross. That and especially when they say later on how he died in the ambulance. Oh yeah, that was really horrific. That yeah, but all a great performance by all the cast, a stellar cast. I've got no complaints at all. I think this could be another cult classic, guys. As I said in my video, I think this is going to be a regular staple, Late Night with the Devil, every Halloween. All the horror fans that like it, they're going to make that, the regular go-to movie, like Halloween, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street. Yeah, so mark my words, that will be a regular staple. I'll certainly be watching it a lot. Yeah, I loved it. Yes, hang on, guys, just get a bit comfy here. 80s horror fan, 80s. Hi, all, you okay? Thanks for stopping by. Jeff Joffrey, try to limit the spoilers. Well, I'll try, Jeff, but I'm not promising anything, I can't, I'm not Superman, but I'll do my best, yeah. I want to have a real good discussion, about the movie. So, yeah, but I'll do my best, Jeff, to try and sort of like avoid the ending and that, yeah. So, if you guys there, try not to broach the topic of the end and just sort of like keep it general and that, yeah. But, yeah, I'll say it was a great movie. I really enjoyed it. Vampire Jack. My favourite demonic movie is Lamberto Barber's Demons. That's a good one, that. Yeah. I must admit, I did prefer the first one to the second one. I love the part where we were in the cinema and that, oh yeah, I love Demons. Very, very well, very well done movie. Yeah, an absolute horror classic. Yeah. Just imagine that though, being trapped in a cinema and all those possessed people and that, after your blood. Oh God, real stuff of nightmares, that, innit? Vampire Jack saying a masterpiece. I wouldn't disagree with that. It was a masterpiece, and as I say, it brought something different to the horror genre. And they can do it. I mean, this proves it, guys, doesn't it? I've said time and time again in my video. I wish these TV producers would get their heads together and produce a really good, solid horror movie that be as original as they can possibly be, and don't go treading back over the same old tired tropes, teenagers in the woods, haunted houses, and that. Do something different in that. And they did manage to combine the found footage mockumentary genres, and he did a brilliant job. Now, as you'll know, guys, I am not a great fan of found footage, but in this particular case, boy, was I impressed by Late Night with the Devil. Yeah, I mean, I loved it because, I loved the chat show aspect in that, because you didn't know what was coming next and that. And the fella that took the chat show fella up, he did a fantastic job. He really did, And I loved the guests, the way he brought the guests on, and that guy that was debunking. Oh God, I could have slapped him across the face. Yeah, he wouldn't have it, would he? He was everything they'd done. Even when they haul a girl on, that was possessed by that demon. Mr. Wriggles, wasn't it? Yeah. But oh yeah, yeah, she was a great actress as well. The young girl, yeah, fantastic. But very, very creepy. Jeff's saying, shame they pulled that house down and the house that dripped blood. Oh, they pulled that down, did they, Jeff? Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, yeah, that's another one of my favourite movies, Jeff, The House that Dripped Blood. I've watched it many, many times over the years, and I just love it. I think probably my favourite story. Oh, they were all good. Probably my favourite story is the one with Christopher Lee in. Sweet, is it? What was it called? What was that one called? Was it Sweets of the Sweets? I'm sure it was called Sweets of the Sweet. Yeah, whereas his deceased wife was a witch, and he's very, very overprotective of his daughter, isn't he? And that, and when you get this nanny in, he's very short with her, isn't he? And that, he doesn't really want to discuss, how her mother died, and that's a great one. That, oh God, what happens to him at the end? Oh God, voodoo at its most horrific. And we've got Carl McCready. Hi, Alan. I watched Late Night with the Devil. What? Oh, you didn't like it? Oh, right. Oh, well. Everybody to their own taste. I thought it was great myself, but Jeff Joppy, Rosemary's Baby is too creepy. It's a good creepy movie, yeah. Bit of a slow burner, yeah. But when I first watched it, I wasn't too keen on it, believe it or not. But the more I watched it, the more it grew on me, and now I rate it as one of my all-time favorite demonic movies, Rosemary's Baby. I love the novel. I love the novel as well by R11. Yeah, I love that. I've actually got the Son of Rosemary, the sequel to R11. I haven't read it yet, but I believe they did a TV movie of it. I was like, whatever happened to Rosemary's Baby? I believe it's a load of crap, So, but yeah, I'll have to read the sequel. But yeah, I love Rosemary's Baby. I've got the 4K of that. Yeah, I say very, very much parallel, very strong parallel to be drawn there between Rosemary's Baby and Late Night with the Devil. Jack Elroy basically sold the soul to the devil. That business with his wife and that. In return to boost his chat show ratings and that, to rival Johnny Carson or even better Johnny Carson. Yeah, very, very cleverly done, that movie. I loved it. Vampire Jack. In regards to The Devil Rides Out, it's a shame Hammer only made 3 Dennis Wheatley movies. Yeah, exactly. More needs to be made. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. To The Devil a Daughter. I don't know if you guys have seen that one, but spoiler alert, I thought the ending was very, very weak in that. But I love Christopher Lee as the the sinister priest and that. Yeah, well, he always, let's face it, Christopher Lee plays a villain. When he plays a villain, he plays a villain magnificently, doesn't he? Yeah, especially a certain guy whose name begins with the letter D. Right. Jeff's saying Danielle Harris. She must be about 60 odd now. Surely she's not that old, is she? 60 odd. Still making horror movies. Wow. Yeah, I mean, last time I saw her, she looked very, very young. Yeah, I was surprised actually when I watched that Natty Knox. I thought to myself, oh, she must be getting on a bit now. They're giving her mommy roles and that, And you can tell when an actress, when you can tell movie producers start giving female actresses mommy or grandma roles that they regard their looks as, past, which is very, very sad. Mind you, a lot of these actresses and that used to be glamour girls. Some of them still look very good. Linda Carter, she still looks good for her age, yeah. But yeah, it's a shame. Like, I really feel for them that once you start to pass a certain age, like, maybe over 50 and that, or even over 40, they start getting mommy roles. Yeah, it's a shame. Like, what can you do about age? Vampire Jack saying closest to 50. Yeah, I'd say she'd be about what, 47, 48. Danielle Harris. Jeff Joffrey. Oh, really, Vampire Jack? Well, there's only one way to find out. There's only one way to find out Danielle Harris's age, and that's looking on Google, isn't it? Cy Robson. You okay, Cy? Thanks for turning up. Hi, Alan. David Dasmatian gives one of the best performances I've seen in a horror movie in years. I would certainly agree with that. He was fantastic. Yeah, I'll have to watch out for more films of him. Yeah, he did. He played that chat show host off brilliantly, didn't he? Yeah, very, very multi-layered character as well. As I said in my review of Late Night with the Devil. Brian Gilson, The House of the Devil is a good film. Do you know what, Brian? You've just named one of my all-time favourite devil movies there. Yeah, where the girl goes babysitting and that, and oh, it's very, very creepy that, yeah. I know the movies had a lot of stick for being a bit slow, where she's just wandering around the house, but that didn't bother me too much, because I regarded that as a slow, tense build-up to the horrors that was to come. Oh, and when the horror did come, oh my, and how it came, yeah. Yeah, I love House of the Devil. Yeah, it's a very, very underrated little horror movie, that. Yeah, great one there, Brian. Yeah, cheers. Danielle Harris is 46. I thought she was in her 40s. Yeah, yeah. Jeff saying, thanks, Vampire Jack. Okay. Sai saying, I also love the way it changed ratios from live TV to behind the scenes during the ad break. I know, yeah, yeah, when it went behind the scenes and that. Oh, didn't he have a real snotty imperious boss? Didn't he? That guy with the curly hair and that, and he had a leather jacket on, didn't he? He looked like he'd just come out of a rock gig. Yeah, he'd either be a little bit of a Sean Hudson, the curly hair and that, and the glasses and that. Yeah, but oh god, he really gave it to him, didn't he? He basically, he didn't care. He didn't care what was going on. What was going on in the show? He just wanted those ratings, didn't he? Like, basically, just get out there and shut up, and get the ratings up. Yeah, another great performance in that. But oh god, he was a loathsome. I think he was the most loathsome character next to the debunker. I think that Jack's manager, the second most loathsome character in the entire movie. But yeah, as I say, all characters, whether you like them or not, they all did a fantastic job. Great chemistry, with all the cast and that. Yeah. Vampire Jack says, House of the Devil, although a little slow, is really good. Yeah, that was what I said before. Yeah, some people think it's a bit slow. The part where she's, the babysits and that, and the couple leave her in the house and that, and she starts wandering around the house. But yeah, I enjoyed it. It didn't really bother me too much. The slow scenes. And we've got Tommy Alexandra. Hello, Alan. How are you today? I'm not too bad, thanks, Tom. How are you, mate? Thanks for stopping by. Stephen is saying, hi, Alan. You okay, Stephen? Gina's watching with me again. She said hi, but you didn't say. Oh, I don't believe this. Isn't a comment showing again? I think a comments aren't coming through again. Well, I don't know what's happened there, but if any moderators are here now, could you have a look at Gina's comments to see why they're not coming through? Can't be having this, so maybe Gina's one of my faithful YouTubers and that, and I want to see her comments, yeah. So any guys, if you can help here, help me out here, so I can see Gina's comments, if feel free to do so. Thanks for letting me know anyway, Stephen. Jeff saying, Late Night with the Devil. I've seen clips. The retro 1970 clothes and hairstyle are spot on. Definitely, yeah. They did a good job creating the fashion of 1977. Yeah, they did. Yeah, very, very authentic looking movie. Yeah, great movie. Tommy's saying, I watched Jaws, and after a while it got a bit boring. Oh, you didn't like Jaws then? No. Oh, I think it's one of the best creature feature movies ever made, if not the best. Yeah, I love Jaws. Wasn't too keen on the sequels though. Vampire Jack saying, the guy from Late Night is in the Belko Experiments. You mean the main fella who played Elroy? Brian saying to Stephen, I've had a look, but sadly I couldn't see anything why Gina's comments are not showing. Oh, right, yeah. Oh, yeah, no worries. Yeah, you did your best, yeah. I'll sort it out. Vampire Jack. Um, Jaws is one of the greatest movies ever made. Well, I wouldn't argue with that. Yeah, I've got the 4K of that. Yeah, I love Jaws. Yeah, I love the book as well, which is quite different than that, in some respects. And we've got Leo here from the Geek Legion of Doom. You okay, Leo, mate? Thanks for turning up. And Leo's saying, is she using block words, Gina? Yeah, that's a good point, isn't it? Yeah. Any of you moderators there can get to the bottom of that. Let me know. Yeah, because I don't want, as I say, I don't want me regular YouTubers like not being able to communicate. So there must be some sort of error there. I haven't done anything personally, so yeah, I'm not when it comes to moderating, I'm not really like advanced yet. To know all the ins and outs, and that's why I got my team of moderators helping me. But yeah, any of you guys can look into that for me, I'd be immensely grateful. Stephen saying, hang on. Stephen saying, thanks for checking, Brian. I don't know why they're not coming through. Yeah, me neither. Stephen, no, she literally just said, hi, Alan. All right. Jeff saying, Alan, Island of Terror. I thought Peter Cushing's fate was totally unnecessary. Spoil the movie for me. Yeah, do you know, Jeff? I haven't seen that for a few years, so I don't remember. I don't remember too much about that. I'll have to check that out again. Yeah, that's a big favourite. That with a lot of horror fans, Island of Terror. I'm talking to Peter Cushing, Jeff. I just bought Shockwaves, that one where the Nazi zombies come out of the sea. Lovely addition by 88 movie. So I'm looking forward to revisiting that. I hope to be doing my latest pickups video sometime this week, guys. So stay tuned for that. I've got some cracking movies to show you all. Vampire Jack saying, I love Island of Terror. Yeah, as I say, Vampire Jack, it's a very, very popular movie that. Well, with a lot of horror fans. Richard Brown saying, you okay, Richard? Bought Corruption during the Indicator sale. I love Corruption. That's one of my all-time favourite Peter Cushing movies. That he did a fantastic job, didn't he, as the demented plastic surgeon? Stopping at nothing basically to make sure his wife's face stays. After that horrific accident with the lamp falling on her face at the beginning, making sure that his wife's face stayed unscarred and still beautiful. Yeah, I love Corruption. Jeff saying, yeah, Shockwave's good movie. Yeah. First time I saw it was last year, 1975, 77, isn't it? If my memory serves me correctly, Jeff, I think it's 1977. Yeah. Yeah. It's a great movie. I say I'm looking forward to it. I'll probably watch that at the weekend. Yeah. And do a review of it. Looking forward to revisiting that. Leo's asking me, have you seen the Umbrella Edition Blu-ray from Australia of Late Night with the Devil? I have indeed, Leo. Yeah, yeah. As I said before, it looks a fantastic edition. That, yeah, but we've got to wait till September before it's released. So yeah, I'll definitely be picking that up. Yeah, yeah. I had an idea like they do a special edition. With it being such a popular horror movie. Yeah, I'm sure other labels will bring out theirs as well. Yeah, so yeah, that's definitely on my list. Yeah, I can't wait to get that. Tommy's saying, Tommy Alexandra, which It did you like? The new It or the old It? For me, I like the old one. I did have a preference for the Tim Curry one, the old one. But the problem I've got with both versions is that bloody awful ending with the bloody giant spider. Oh my god, I hated the bloody book as well. I loved the book. When I first read the book in early 1988, I was always enthralled from right from the first page. And that, when he, what's the name? Is it George? He gets his arm ripped off by Pennywise in a storm drain. I was instantly captivated. I couldn't wait. I couldn't put the book down to see what happened. Both during the childhood years and later on when he grew into adults. But oh my, when I got to that ending, oh, I just went right downhill for me. I was expecting a kind of like a real powerful demon, like a shape, real powerful shape shifting demon. But what did we get? A bloody overgrown spider. Oh yeah, this is a bit. I mean, like Stephen King's, he's carved a bit of a notorious reputation for himself, hasn't he? In terms of not being able to come up with a good ending, yeah. And it was certainly one of the downbeat endings, yeah. But yeah, it's such a shame. It's one of the tragedies of horror fiction. That novel, it's having such a bad ending, and of course that was translated into the movies, and that where you're seeing the ending in full. I shouldn't say glory, should I? But oh yeah, what an awful ending, yeah. But I do prefer the Tim Curry one in regards to the remakes. The first one was okay. It was okay. I did not like the second one at all. I did not like those blooming ridiculous. I didn't like those ridiculous special effects. Oh, I didn't like. Yeah, well, not for me that one. Vampire Jack saying, "I enjoyed both adaptations of it, and I'm looking forward to the TV show. Welcome to the. Oh, they're making a TV show, are they? I suppose this will be a kind of a prequel, will it? Yeah, I might give it a go. But I'm not really great advocates. I'm not great advocates of these companies transferring their movie masterpieces into TV show formats. It just doesn't work for me. The TV series with Chucky didn't work for me. So I did like the Psycho. I must admit, I did like the Psycho TV series with Vera Farmiga, but the ending was very weak. In regards to Psycho, you can't beat the original Anthony Perkins. I don't care what you say. He was. I think I've said this before, guys. He was made to play that part. He really was. He was a very, very nuanced character, wasn't he? He had many layers to him. I mean, you hated him for getting dressed up in his mother's garb and going around stabbing people's death. But at the same time, you couldn't help but root for him to get better. When he got like Psycho 2 when he came out of the sanatorium after being in there, was it 22 years, much to the chagrin of Vera Miles, but yeah, you couldn't help but feel sorry for him, and you couldn't help but root for him to get better. But of course, if he'd have got better, you wouldn't have had a movie, would you? But oh yeah, I love that Anthony Perkins Psycho who was a number one for me. Yeah, the guy who played him in Bates Motel, he didn't do a good job. I can't remember his name, but yeah, the ending again was a bit weak. Richard Brown's asking me, did you like Ghostwatch, Alan? It was okay, I suppose. It was watchable. I couldn't understand it all, why people were terrified of it now, because I could see it was fiction, but yeah, back in 1992, what I can remember, it caused a big sensation. People actually terrified of it, and that, they actually thought Michael Parkinson had sort of like stumbled into something really strange and sinister, in the studio and at the end and that. But it was okay. I wouldn't rave over it. It's not the sort of like what could you call it? Like I suppose found footage, mockumentary. Not the sort of thing I go back to again and again. But yeah, it was okay. It was okay. And Jeff's saying, I liked it out of the old Adams Family TV series. It is that? Do you mean thing, the hand? Yeah, I had the Adams Family, the old Adams Family on it's on Blu-ray, the 1960s one. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay, watchable. Vampire Jack's saying, Stephen King doesn't know how to end books. Well, that's a common sort of like sentiment that's been expressed by many King fans. Some of his books have good endings. I like the ending of Salem's Lot. I like the ending of Carrie. I like the ending of The Shining, and I thought the ending with Pet Cemetery. Oh God, I think that's his creepiest ending ever. Oh, what a silly decision that guy made, Louis Creed. Putting his wife in the burial ground. I mean, he knew what had happened. It's the same. It's the same in the movie. What does he do? He buries it in the bloody Micmac burial ground, doesn't he? Knowing full well what might happen and that. A very very poor decision. Yeah, but yeah, as I say, I think that's the one that had the most disappointing. It had the most disappointing ending for me. Vampire Jack. Yeah, it would have been. If that book could have had a great ending, that would have been the perfect horror book, and probably my all-time favorite Stephen King novel. I can tell you guys while we're on the subject of I'm talking about the theme of the stream tonight, devil movies. There's a movie I absolutely love. Now, if any of you guys are fans of Sharon Tate, she only made a couple of movies before she was tragically murdered by the Manson family. She was in a fantastic little movie. I think it was made in 1965, and it's called Eye of the Devil. David Niven's in it as well. Oh, I love it. I've watched it many, many times. Yeah. It's like a kind of like Black Magic Wicker Man kind of story. And I won't tell you too much about it, guys. I don't want to spoil it for you, but that's one of my favorite ones. You've got David Hemmings in there as well. And Sharon Tate, she plays this kind of witchy character. Very, very beautiful girl, Sharon Tate. She looks really nice in this. And it's basically all to do with like sacrificing and that, witchcraft and that. A very, very creepy movie and that. Yeah, the part where Deborah Carr, David Niven's wife, where she's in the woods and that, and all it always stays in my mind, that scene. All the hooded figures come from nowhere in the woods and that. Well, you've seen Eye of the Devil, guys, you know what I mean? Yeah. Now, I wouldn't mind seeing that. But they'd actually do a good job of it. I wouldn't mind seeing that remade in colour. But of course, you haven't got Sharon Tate, have you? You haven't got David Niven, so I doubt it'll be as good. But I would like to see, what sort of a job they'd make of it. And that if they got the great actor, if they got the good actors together, and he did a good story, I think that would look lovely in colour. It's a great shame that 1965 version wasn't made in colour because, like, the shadow and that, where David Niven goes to and that, and as I say, like the scenes in the woods and that, with the rogue figures and that, and oh yeah, Sharon Tate, she's beautiful, she's absolutely stunning to look at. Oh, but boy, is she creepy. Yeah, but yeah. So if you haven't seen Eye of the Devil, I recommend you check. You can get on Blu-ray now. Yeah, fantastic movie. I think that's probably next to the Fearless Vampire Killers. I think that's my next favorite Sharon Tate movie, guys. Vampire Jack saying highly overrated. If you ask me, what do you mean? Which movie you're talking about there? Stevens is saying I'm not a fan of Stephen King's work, but Gina loves them. Yeah, he's a bit of a hit and miss. Well, his last books for me a little been it'd been like a little bit of a hit and miss. I'm waiting for Holly to come out in paperback. The one of the characters that was in Mr. Mercedes. He's giving her own story, so that should be out soon in paperback. And he's got a book of it. He's got a book of short stories coming out. I'm trying to think of the title. You Like It Dark, something like that. I think it's called You Like It Dark, something like that. But I'll most probably be picking that up as well. I found a lot of his short stories are better than some of his novels. So yeah, he's a bit of a hit and miss author now. His first books when he first came out, well, oh, they were fantastic. Carrie, Salem's Lot, The Stand, books like that. Pet Cemetery. Christine's another favourites of mine. But as the years went by, he turned more to kind of like thrillers, didn't he? You got like The Dead Zone, which was okay. I'm not really a great fan of it. And then you got like Dreamcatcher, which I did not like at all. He went more like into thriller territory, didn't he? Misery's he was back in form at Misery. Oh, that was a real horrific book. That loved the movie as well with Kathy Bates. Yeah, love Misery. That's probably one of my all-time favorite Stephen King novels and that. You read that a few times, and I love it. I love Misery. Vampire Jack saying James Herbert, Sean Hudson, and Brian Lumley for me. Yeah, yeah, three classic authors. Yeah, still miss James Herbert to this day. Yeah, he was a huge staple of my teen years. Growing up like in the 1970s and that. When I first read The Rats in September 1974. Oh God, I thought to myself, this is the most horrific book I have ever read in my whole life. The way he describes the rats and that, where they attack the people on the train and that, and even attack the animals in the zoo. Yeah, great book, The Rats. And then I like Blair as well, a sequel where he went to Epping Forest. And then Domain was okay, but I think that was the weaker of the three rat books, Domain. Yeah, if any of you have been following me, James Herbert's book reviews on YouTube, I hope you've been enjoying them. Yeah, so I'm hoping to do another one very, very soon. Yeah, that'll be The Spear. Yeah, but yeah, still miss Jim to this day. My number one favourite horror writer. Very down to earth guy as well. Brian's saying, I love Salem's Lot and Silver Bullets and the Langoliers. I love Salem's Lot. Silver Bullet, not too keen on that, Brian. The Langoliers was okay. That was the airplane one, wasn't it? Yeah. But all my days, the creatures at the end, didn't they look cheap looking? You know, they really did. You know, I mean, talk about 1950s B movie creatures. Oh God, they looked as if they come right out of a 1950s B movie. But yeah, three good titles there, Bri. And Jeff's saying when Norman hit the old woman over the head with the shovel. Sorry, I laughed. Oh, you laughed. You thought that was funny, did you? Yeah, yeah. When she sat down and that, give her poison, didn't he? He just come behind and picked up the shovel. Oh God, yeah. I was quite shocked actually when I first saw that and that. Yeah, but I suppose some people would see the funny side of it and that. I mean, some people laughed at The Exorcist, didn't he? Yeah. So I suppose like uh, some people can see funny scenes in horror, can't they? What other people can't, I've heard a lot about that scene in is it the last Friday the 13th where one doesn't want to get smacked in the face and they go something something like that. Yeah, I'll have to watch the film I'd have to watch the film to refresh my memory. Yeah, but I've heard a lot of people saying about the end of that as a woman or something, she gets smacked in the face and go, I'll be able to can't do it exactly like because I haven't seen the movie for ages, and I think I've only seen it once. I'll have to check that out and that, have a good laugh on that. Yeah, but as I say, yeah, there are some scenes in horror movies where people do find quite facetious, whereas other people could be cringe at them. That's the beauty of horror, isn't it? There's so much for everybody. American Werewolf in London was a fine example of a horror comedy. They got it right, Abbott and Costello, my all-time favorite horror comedy. Yeah, they got it right as well. It's very, very rare, guys, that horror comedies can get it spot on. There's only a few, to get it right. Yeah, I mean, take the Wizard of Oz. A lot of people were terrified of the witch, weren't they? Whereas some people laughed at her. I suppose it depends on the individual person, really, doesn't it? I must admit, guys, what makes me laugh? What makes me laugh at some of these horror movies where some of the creature feature effects now you can tell it's a bloody man. You can tell it's a bloody man in a rubber suit, can't you? And sometimes you can see the bloody zipper at the back. Yeah, some of the bloody just patched up, just patched together, and that. Yeah. I mean, I'll give you an example. You know, Hammer. The evil Frankenstein. Yeah, I think was that the third Frankenstein movie? Yeah, The Curse of Frankenstein, The Revenge of Frankenstein. I think that was the third one before Frankenstein created woman. Yeah, a lot of people skittered at the creature, didn't he? Like the square head. He thought it was cheap looking. It wasn't great. It wasn't great makeup, but I thought it was okay. He's okay. Kiwi Kingston played him. Yeah, he played the creature in the Evil of Frankenstein. But yeah, a lot of people thought that was quite funny and cheap looking. Jeff's saying, bring on the new Salem's Lot. Do you know what? I think I'm giving up hope. I'm going to see that. It's been put off and put off and put off and put off. And I'm just wondering myself, just like Wolf Creek 3. Oh, bloody, I've given all hope on ever seeing that. Wolf Creek 3. But yeah, I don't know when I'm going to release that new Salem's Lot. I haven't heard any more about it, to be honest, Jeff. So if anybody on here can throw some fresh news out there, it'd be very much appreciated. Tommy's saying, I bought the Orphan film, great movie. The first one, that is, not the atrocious second one. Bought the Orphan film. I'm actually really looking forward to seeing it. It's a good one, but I didn't like the second one. A lot of people did, but a lot of people didn't. I did not like the second one at all. I thought the color was horrible. dirty dishwater colour. The story was rubbish. The characters were rubbish. But that's just my opinion. You might like the sequel. The first one's definitely the best, without a shadow of a doubt. Richard Brown, Cousin It. That's not going to be another, not going to be another new It movie, is it? I think I'll pass on that. Oh, Cousin It, the Addams Family. Oh, right, I get where you're coming from now. Yeah, Cousin It. Sorry. Richard's saying Race with the Devil is a great little film. I've got that one on Blu-ray, and I totally agree with you. It is a great little film. Yeah. Oh, what an ending! Oh my days, what a shocking ending. Jeff's saying, I agree, Richard. The swimming pool scene gives me the shivers. Right. Richard Brown, great ending too. Yeah. Jeff's saying yes. Brian Gilson to Jeff Joffrey. I'm really looking forward to seeing it. Right. Jeff Joffrey to Brian when it comes out. Yeah, when it comes out. Yeah, when Nelson gets his eye back, I think. Brian Gilson, Needful Things is really good. Do you know? I'm going to get that on Blu-ray, but I haven't got that on. I haven't got that on Blu-ray. I've had it on DVD, so I'll have to get the Blu-ray of that. I enjoyed the book as well. Yeah, Max von Sydow did a fantastic job, didn't he? Playing Leyland Gaunt, the sinister shopkeeper. So yeah, I think it's on Amazon Germany. I'll have to send off for that. Yeah, yeah. One of Stephen King's. It's not a fantastic book. It's a pretty average horror book. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'll get the Blu-ray of that. Vampire Jack the Devil's Reign is interesting. Yeah, I've got that one as well. Yeah, that's a good one. Ernest Borgnine. Is it William Shatner? Brian Gilson to Jeff Joffrey. I've heard the new Salem's Lot is coming out in October. They most probably bring most of these big horror movies out round about October, don't they? In time for Halloween. Yeah. So Leo's saying, if you like Late Night with the Devil, there is a 2013 movie called WNUF Halloween Special. That's designed to look like recording of a late 80s live TV broadcast with paranormal things happening. Oh, we haven't heard of that one, Leo. I'll have to check that one out. Thanks, mate. Yeah, I'll check that one out. Yeah. Cheers. I like anything like that. Yeah. So if it's as good as I Have the Devil, I'll definitely be keeping it in my collection. Cheers for that, mate. Richard saying the Devil's Reign, great creepy atmosphere, good effects. Yeah, yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one. The Devil's Reign. I tell you what, they made some good devil movies, didn't he, guys? In the 70s. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Not just like the big epics like The Exorcist and The Omen. They made some good little really seen like as you just really seen movies like Race with the Devil. The Devil's Reign and that. Yeah. So yeah, it was the 1970s was a good decade for their satanic black magic movies, in my opinion. Vinny's saying, "Good evening, Alan. You okay, Vin? Hope you're. I presume you mean well. Hope you're well too, Vin. Thanks for stopping by, mate. Much appreciated." Jeff's saying, "Wow, it keeps being pushed back." Brian, I'll be 80 years old when it's finally. I must probably be 100 years old when it's finally released. Like, I don't think I'd like to live that long. Oh, does a bit thinking about. Brian, say Geek Legion of Doom. That's a great film. I'll definitely have to check that one out. Yeah, definitely. Vampire Jack WNUF is terrible. Oh right. I suppose it's a matter of opinion, isn't it? You know what? One man's meat is another man's poison. It's the same with like the Blair Witch Project. I mean, a lot of people like that. A lot of people loathed it. I was in the latter category actually, and I blame that for spawning a lot of these similar found footage movies and that. We're talking of found footage, guys. Have any of you guys seen that new one, The Borderlands? Now, I'm contemplating getting that, but the found footage element has put me off it. It's dissuaded me a little bit. It's basically about this group of priests, I think. They get assigned by the Vatican to go and investigate this. Is it a haunted church? I think it's a haunted church or some kind of place of worship. And it will, of course, they encounter evil things there. But yeah, I'm still on the fence about that. I've heard some people like saying it's good. The Borderlands. So if any of you have got it, let me know what you think of it. I say not being a great fan of found footage, it's got to be a really good one to impress me. I've heard that Red movie's quite a good found footage one, and the second one. But after that, they go a bit downhill. So I'm thinking about checking Wreck House. Yeah, I haven't seen that one. That's a Spanish release, isn't it? Um, Jeff Smiley, his smiley face. Vampire Jack. How old are you? I never reveal my age. Never ever reveal my age. I'm still 21. And it's, no, I don't reveal my age. I'm sorry. I'm 50 on June 6th. I share my birthday with someone very special. Born at 6:25, so just a little too late. All right, yeah. No, I never like to say how old I am. Not that I'm ashamed of it. Like, I just like to keep people guessing. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. Craig 11990. Hi, Alan mate. Okay, Craig. I hope you're keeping well. I watched Cannibal Holocaust 1980 for the first time the other day. I just was curious if you have seen it. If so, what do you think of it? I gave it a 6.5 out of 10. Well, do you know what, Craig? I watched it on the DVD. Oh, must have been about 2 or 3 years ago. Yeah, it's a kind of like, again, found footage like set in the jungle and that. I've got the 4K upgraded to the 4K. I haven't watched it yet, so I'll have to check that out. But yeah, it's a kind of a found footage movie, like obviously, going on a mission in the jungle and that, and encountering cannibals and that. So when I've watched the 4K, Craig, I'll probably do a full review of it. So watch this space, yeah. Got quite a notorious reputation, that hasn't it, for animal cruelty. I don't like animal cruelty of any description, yeah. So, but yeah, as I say, I've got the 4K. So when I've watched it, I was probably film a review. Jeff is wishing a happy 50th to Vampire Jack. You're giving his age away there, Jeff. And Vampire Jack is expressing his gratitude. Thanks, Jeff. And we've got Kevin here. You okay, Kev? Nice to see you. Always nice to talk to you, mate. Hi, Alan, and everyone. Hope everyone is well. I'm not too bad, thanks, Kev. Hope you're well too. Thanks for stopping by. Um, Brian Gilson to Kevin William Wardle. Hi, yeah. Vampire Jack Cannibal Holocaust is a 10 for me, right? Fair enough. Brian Gilson to Vampire Jack. Happy birthday, yeah. Jeff saying, Alan, which horror movie have you seen the most times? And now that's a very good question, because there's a lot of horror movies I've seen most times. Oh yeah, I'll tell you one of the ones I've watched. Oh, I don't know how many times I've watched it, Jeff. Frankenstein 1931 with the late great Boris Karloff. I absolutely love that movie, and as I've said many many times, that was the movie that made me a horror fan. Yeah, probably the next I'd say The Bride. All the Karloff movies. I've watched loads and loads of times. Yeah, I just wish he'd have made more playing the Frankenstein monster. I've watched the next I'd say Dracula, Christopher Lee, The Wolfman, all the old classics. Jeff, the Universal, Hammer, Amicus. They're the ones I've watched most. If you wanted another one outside those studios, I would probably say Eye of the Devil, what I mentioned before with Sharon Tate. The Man Who Haunted Himself, Roger Moore. That's another great favourite of mine. Oh gosh, American Werewolf in London. Watched that many times. Yeah. In regards to the Christopher Lee Dracula series, I would probably say after the first one, Dracula 1950s, I would probably say Dracula's Risen from the Grave. Oh God, I don't know how many times I've watched that. I don't think I know every single line in it and everything what happens in it. But it's such a good movie. You've got such a stellar cast. Christopher Lee resuscitated again as Count Dracula. Veronica Carlson, my number one favourite Hammer girl, sadly no longer with us, plays the heroine in that. I think her name's Maria. And then you've got the hero Paul. If you notice, guys, there's always a Paul in a Hammer movie. The main guy, the main love interest is the hero is always a Paul. They must have loved the name Paul, mustn't they? Yeah. But yeah, as I say, the Universal, Amicus, Hammer, all the classics and that. They're the ones I've watched most. Tommy Alexander. I really loved the Freddy versus Jason. That was incredible. I didn't know it was going to happen. Do you know? I've only watched that once. I've got that in the Friday the 13th big Scream Factory box set. So I'll have to give that another whirl. Yeah. And Vampire Jack says I've seen The Evil Dead over 100 times. I've watched it a few times myself, but nowhere near that amount. Demons and ROTLD aren't far off that either, right? Return of the Living Dead, I presume. Hmm. Richard saying they are rebooting. Oh no, they're not rebooting that bloody thing again, are they? Blair Witch. Yeah, all right, I think I'll be passing on that, Rich. Borderlands is excellent. Do you know what? I just might check Borderlands out. What the hell? I hate found footage, but I'll be tempted to check it out. I'm very tempted to get the special edition, but if I don't like it, I can flog it on eBay or give it to CX. But yeah, I might check it out to see what it's like. Providing there's not a lot of jerky cameras. I do not like jerky cameras. That's I think that's my main hatred of found footage movies, are bloody jerky cameras. Yeah. So I'll probably give it a whirl, and I'll most probably do a review of it. Yeah. Cheers, Richard. Brian's saying Borderlands is really good. It has a good creepy atmosphere. Well, that's good enough for me. I'll definitely check it out. Thanks for that, Brian. Oh, we've got another fave review here. The Borderlands is excellent. Well, that's good enough for me. I think you guys are swaying me tonight. I think I might just be tempted when I'm out shopping tomorrow. I might just be tempted to pick that up. Vampire Jack, I'm looking forward to the new Blair Witch. Are you like the Blair Witch, do you? A lot of people do, and that's fine. We've all got everybody to their own taste, and that, we can't all like the same thing. If we all like the same movies, it would be pretty boring, wouldn't it? So it's good to get a good hearty discussion going about likes and dislikes in the movie, particularly in the horror genre. So yeah, that's fine. Yeah, yeah. Jeff Joffrey, Alan, I know you've been snooping on me, Jeff, you naughty lad. You're a year older than last year. Yeah, a year older than last year, whatever. Yeah. I'm moving on. And we've got Leo saying The Borderlands is a fantastic movie. One of the best found footage made the last 25 minutes. Some of the scariest scenes. All right, I'll check that out, Leo. Yeah, definitely. I've been swayed now. So I must probably pick it up over the weekend and do a review of it. Cy Robinson, Vampire Jack, you're 9 days older than me. Yeah. Moving on. Vampire Jack. You're as young as you feel. What's that? Area 50s Yuan. Late Night with the Devil was such a great film. Well, I wouldn't argue with that. Area 50s Yuan. I think I've seen The Conjuring too many times. Do you know what? I've only watched the original Conjuring about twice. Yeah, that scene always creeps me out, where the woman's possessed and they put the bag over her head, don't they? And she levitates up in the air. Doesn't the chair go upside down? That's very creepy, that scene. I love The Conjuring 2 as well. I wasn't too keen on The Conjuring 3 because it started to make the investigators, they give them like kind of like psychic powers and that, making a little bit super, like super sensory powers, and that was a bit of a turn off for me. And Jeff's saying there's always a hands and a hammer movie too. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you need hands, Max Bygraves used to say. You need hands to make a little baby. Cy Robson. I've seen The Thing, 1982, the most, well over 100 times. Yeah, I must admit that's not one of my favourite movies. That, although I do know it's got a big fan following. Watched it many times and I still can't get into it. Although I do like the snowy setting. With me being a winter person, I love, I love horror movies with a snowy setting. Yeah. So, but yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I know it's got a big fan base. The Thing. Yeah, but I do prefer Alien. Jeff Joffrey, wow, sigh, right? Um, Area 50, Joanne. Why would they reboot the Blair Witch? Yeah, why would they reboot the Blair Witch? Good question. Cy Robson, I love it. Great expression of enthusiasm there. Kevin's saying, sorry I'm late, guys. Cannibal Holocaust is a bit strong for me. Yeah, better late than never, Kev. Brian's saying, what is the film like where Peter Cushing plays a vampire? I think it was in the new. Oh, absolutely dreadful. It's bloody awful. Isn't it called Tender Dracula? Oh, it's terrible, Brian. It really is. I did not like that Peter Cushing box set at all. It was awful. It was his worst movies, I think. Just like the Christopher Lee box sets that they released. Yeah, I got rid of it. I didn't like it at all. And as much as it pains me to say it, as much as I love Peter Cushing, I didn't like those movies that were in that set. They were dreadful. He's better off sticking to playing Van Helsing and that. That's not to say that he wasn't. He's not. He's not a good actor. I love Peter Cushing, but I think he was wasted in that one. That's it. Tender Dracula. It was terrible. Jeff Joffe, it's a great film, Si. Yeah, fair enough. Area 52 and the last play, which was pretty good. Fair enough. Vampire Jack, The Thing, one of the greatest movies ever made. That's fine, yeah. As I say, everybody to their own taste. I do know it is highly rated, that movie. I just couldn't say it wasn't for me. I just couldn't get into it. Kevin saying, I must be the only one who loves Scars. You're not. I love Scars of Dracula. A lot of people love Scars of Dracula. Scars of Dracula, although it did break the continuity, didn't it, from Taste of Blood of Dracula, nevertheless, it was a very, very well done movie. And do you know about that part that was caught with Christopher Lee? He actually, when he stabs that girl on the bed with the big knife, he actually stoops down and laps all the blood up. I remember getting the Monster Mag poster back in early 1976 and it had Scars of Dracula, and it had that poster, and that scene was shown. When they had like the little sort of like small photographs, it had Christopher Lee, his head bent down, gorging really rapaciously on the girl, with knife. So, but it was cut out. Yeah, you never know. They might restore it one day. Boy, the censors deemed it too strong for cinema audiences. But yeah, I love Scars of Dracula. Great supporting cast as well, in the forms of Jenny Hanley and Dennis Waterman. I think Christopher Lee was at his most brutal in that, wasn't he? He didn't just bite the necks; he did other things as well. Nearly 50 Joanne's a Vampire Jack, agreed, right? Early 50 Joanne found footage film called Dashcam is fantastic. Oh, don't think I've heard of that one. Vampire Jack, Kevin Scars is a classic. It is a classic, yeah. It's great. Scars of Dracula. I got the edition with I got the Scream Factory edition with Christopher Lee comments on Scars of Dracula. Yeah, it's a lovely edition. Jeff Joffe. I also like the 2011 prequel, which most people hate, right? Jeff said I love Scars of Dracula too, Kev. Yeah. Yeah, it's a good film. Yeah, I can't understand some of the stick it gets. I thought it was a very well done film. Vampire Jack, the prequel is good. I'd be open to a sequel which follows both movies. Okay, fair enough. Area 50, Joanne. The third Conjuring was weak. Yeah, definitely. They had a better story going with the werewolf case they investigated, right? Yeah, it was very weak one, the third Conjuring. Good idea, Vampire Jack, says Jeff. All things film with Yam Yam. You okay, mate? Thanks for stopping by. What's your Alan? Are you okay? Hope you're well. Yeah, I'm not too bad, thanks. It's been blooming hot around here in the Black Country the last. Oh, I can't stand the hot weather. I absolutely bloody hate it. And there's some of these radio presenters, the way they go on about it, and oh, the sun's coming out. Isn't it great to have the sun? I thought, bloody hell, you give over about. They seem to have this sort of like a preconceived notion that everybody likes the hot weather. They don't. I don't mind the sun when it's got a nice breeze to it. I don't like it red hot. When we had those really, unusually hot days last year and the year before. Oh, I felt I was dying. I couldn't go out to the shops. I could barely go to the front door. I feel I was like the bloody Incredible Mountain Man. But it's well, the ones that's been moaning about not getting enough sun, they can't moan now, can they? Yeah, but let's hope it doesn't last too long, as I don't like it too hot. I really don't. Yeah. So, I do prefer autumn and winter, definitely. Brian's The Scars of Dracula are another thumbs up for The Scars of Dracula. Yeah, as I say, I don't know what these people that criticise it and sneer at it. The main, I think the main gripe is they say cheesy special effects with the vampire bat and the ending and that, like the sort of like what they got a name for those endings where like God intervenes and that, like when he can't think of a good ending, he used God to sort of intervene. It's the Duke the Machiner ending. I've come across it with being a writer where you have like a quick ending where Christopher Lee, just as he's going to throw the iron spike, he gets struck by a bolt of lightning and he falls down of his castle. But yeah, I think they're the two main gripes with the people who don't like Scars of Dracula. But I didn't mind, and that that's part of the charm, isn't it? We could say the same thing about the Satanic Rites of Dracula with Christopher Lee's Dracula when he's going after Peter Cushing in the grounds of his house. He walks right through a hawthorn bush. Now, obviously Dracula, he could turn into mist or a bat and just navigate round that, couldn't he? But why does he walk through the hawthorn bush? Knowing full well it could kill him. Well, I think like Hammer, I think what it was with Hammer, they liked to provide these really over the top dramatic endings, didn't he? It sort of like suspended like like belief, really. Sort of like they basically did what they thought would make a great ending, didn't he? All these dramatic Dracula endings and that. Like for instance, Dracula's risen from the grave, but he gets pushed off the cliff near his castle, and he falls on that big cross. And I think that's probably my favourite Dracula demise, that one. And Dracula Prince of Darkness, where they shoot the ice and that, and the ice goes like that, and he falls down under the ice. Suddenly, Christopher Lee is like that, trying to scrabble to get up. That's a good ending, yeah. And of course, we mustn't forget the one where in the first Dracula, where Van Helsing chases him into his castle, and Van Helsing, like after having a bit of a scrap with him, he goes, he's like Cavalier style, Buccaneer style. He runs along this big long table, doesn't he? And he pulls the blinds down from the window, and the sunlight hits Dracula. That was Peter Cushing's idea, actually, to make it like a kind of like a Buccaneer swashbuckling stroke, for Van Helsing to run across the table and pull the curtains down. Yeah, yeah. So let's just say, getting back to The Scars of Dracula, I think it's very good. It's got, I'm not saying it's a perfect film, but I'm not saying, on the other hand, it's not a bad film. I love it. I get a lot of pleasure when I revisit that Scars of Dracula. I always love, one of the main things I love about Christopher Lee's Dracula, but I love the way he speaks in that sepulchral, sinister tone. Welcome to my house. Yeah, you thought. Oh God, he was really sinister playing Count Dracula. I've got to say it before, guys. I don't think anybody's topped Christopher Lee for playing Count Dracula. He was so sinister. He was a real monster. And guys, if you've read Dracula, you will know how much of a monster he is in that Bram Stoker novel. Granted, you don't see much of him. You see him at the beginning when Harker goes to the castle and that, and he's sorting out the business affairs and that, purchasing land in Britain. But after that, it's what you call an epistolary novel, and by that I mean a novel written in diary entries, letters, newspaper clippings, that kind of style. But it does work well, It does get a little bit bogged down in around about the middle of the book when they're discussing Dracula, and particularly the scenes with Van Helsing and that. But Dracula, or when he appears as a monster. There's no all this soppy Twilight rubbish and that. That's how Dracula should be. That's the Dracula I grew up with, a real monster, a blood-sucking demon, out for world domination, wanting to turn everybody into vampires and basically rule the world. That's the Dracula I like. And if there's any film producers, if there's any movie producers watching this now, they're thinking about making a Dracula, for God's sake, don't make him a bloody poster boy pin up with a pretty face. Make him a snarling, bloodthirsty demon like Lee's Dracula, because this is where you go wrong. Don't start making them like, as I say, pissy boy Twilight vampires. I don't like Twilight at all. I wouldn't touch it with a barge pole. But make Dracula like a demon, a monster, like all the Universal monsters, like Frankenstein and the Wolfman. Don't start making them like girlish and, as I say, pin-up poster boys. It doesn't work. They're just not scary. Right, back to the comments. Sorry, guys, I'm just trying to catch up here. And we've got Tommy Alexander. You okay, Tom? Thanks for stopping by, mate. I dislocated my ankle and I have to go to work. Oh, how are you going to do that? Oh, yeah, that's awful, that, like. I remember, real bad injury. I had to my ankle way back in 1978. I always remember it was round about the time you guys remember the FA Cup final. Was it Ipswich and Arsenal? Round about that time, that Saturday, I was on the back field. I was running. I think it was. I think I had the dog, and I was running after the dog, and I went down. There was a hole in the back. I went right down on my ankle. Oh, it was an agony for a week. It swelled up. Well, if any of you guys have had a sprained ankle, you know what it's like, guys, don't you? Oh, it's an agony. He could hardly walk, yeah. But you've got to watch when you're running that, there's no holes anywhere and that, down you go. You're basically on your back for a week or two. Cy Robson, you okay, Cy? Have you heard of a found footage film called Man Bites Dog? No. It's a Belgian film about a documentary team following a serial killer. It's not to everyone's taste, but I liked it. I'll have to check that out. Thanks for that, mate. Brian's here and he's saying to Tommy Alexander, I'm really sorry to hear that. Yeah, me too. Yeah, hope it clears up, mate. You get well soon. And we've got Craig 1990 saying, what's your favourite story from the classic Tales from the Crypt? Mine is the blind story, if you can remember, Alan. Oh yeah, the blind man's home. Yeah, it's good, that, and that horrible Sergeant Major. Yeah. You're talking about the 1972 movie, or you're talking about the series generally, including the one with the puppets in. But yeah, I also love the Peter Cushing one, the very, very sad one, the Arthur Grimsdyke. Yeah, I've discussed it many times. This one, where that neighbour, gets some sort of like he garners a lot of hatred towards him, doesn't he? Which culminates in poor Grimsdyke hanging himself. But of course, he gets his revenge, doesn't he? Comes back from the grave and that. Yeah. But yeah, Poetic Justice it's called. Yeah, I like the one with the Father Christmas as well. Father Christmas one. Also, I like both the Joan Collins one and the even scarier one from the TV series. Now, I just hope they do it. I hope they release a Blu-ray of the Tales from the Crypt series. There is a set on Amazon Germany, but it's not a Blu-ray. It's only upscale DVD. So I was going to get that, but once they heard it was only DVDs, there's not much difference. I thought I'd pass on that. But yeah, I just hope, fingers crossed, the event, despite all the wrangling over the rights and that, I hope they manage to sort something out and we finally get a decent Blu-ray release of the box set of the HBO Tales from the Crypt. Yeah, you never know, could happen. All things. Film. Yeah, I'm saying. Also, the Blair Witch Project is the worst piece of crap I have ever seen. I totally agree with you. But on the good side, I do use its disc as my coaster when I have a hot drink, so it is useful. Yeah, comes in handy, doesn't it, for things like that? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Blair Witch, very, very one of the most overhyped, overrated horror movies of all time, in my opinion. There's nothing in it. Even when you saw The Witch, you'd barely seen The Witch. I thought, is that all there is? Jeff Joffe. Dennis Waterman should have done more Hammer films. Yeah, he was a great actor. Good old Dennis. He could be so good for you. Sadly, the producer said it was a big mistake to cast him in Scars of... I disagree. He was a good actor in Scars of Dracula. He was good in Fright as well. Have you seen that one, Jeff, where he plays Susan George's babysitter? That's a great one, that. Yeah, he's good, Dennis Waterman. He's a good actor. He could play any role, whether George Carter, the Sweeney, Terry McCann, Minder, and of course, there's many, many film roles. And he was in what's the name, wasn't he? What was that one? The Devil. Was it in the another Devil? Only it's a TV series. I forget it, but he was in. It was on in the 70s. It was on BBC Two. And of course, he was in New Tricks, wasn't he? Yeah, yeah. He was very good actor, Dennis Waterman. All things filling with Yam Yam. Also, as everyone behaving today, hopefully you've had no prats giving it the big and keyboard sissies I call them. Well, up to now, fingers crossed. Things have been okay. Yeah, let's hope they stay that way and all. I'm not having any idiots on my channel. Brian's echoing basically what I've just said. Yeah, thankfully none so far. Fingers crossed. Yeah, fingers crossed. Yeah. Vinny, what was that Hammer movie with the young Dennis Waterman? Do you mean a old Hammer black and white one? Or do you mean the Scars of Dracula? All things filling with Yam Yam. I had in Heron today, and the guy who was in front of me waiting to get served said to the wench on the till, "Lovely weather today." So I turned round and said, "Ha, no, it blooming ain't." Yeah, I feel like saying that myself when you get them on the bus. Oh, isn't it nice to have a bit of sunshine? Yeah, it's not nice to have it when you're bloody red hot and you can't sleep of a night. I prefer autumn and winter. I like putting the winter woolies on and that, and snuggling up on the sofa watching a good ghost story and that, or reading a good ghost book and that, love Christmas and that, Not a big fan of New Year, not a big fan of August bank holidays, summer months on that, I don't like it. And if there's one song that irritates me that comes on the wireless, Here Comes Summer. Oh God. When that comes on, I just feel like switching the wireless off. And I usually do end up switching the wireless off. It's a nice tune, but I don't like the lyrics. Here comes summer. It's sort of like grates on my ears. It's like somebody putting their fingernails down a blackboard. If you know what I mean. Like Freddy Krueger putting his clawed glove down the blackboard. Mungo Jerry in the summertime is a pleasant enough tune, but again, the summer vibe I don't like, but I like the tune. You can like a tune, but you can dislike the theme, can't you? Yeah. I'm a big fan of Mungo Jerry, by the way, guys. I love Lady Rose. I love it. Yeah, all right, all right, all right. And Wild Love. I remember getting Wild Love on the KTEL album in 1973. I bought those albums avidly, the KTELs, yeah. But yeah, I love Mungo Jerry. Yeah. Baby Jump, that's another good one. And Nadine, Hello. Believe he's still going, isn't he? Is it Jerry Dorsey, the lead singer, doing the odd gig? Cy Robson, I'm a ginger, so I'm allergic to the sun. Yeah, a lot of people are. All things filling with Yam Yam. Brian Gilson, glad to hear. I tell you guys, I've got another movie I can recommend to you while we're on the theme of the devil movies tonight. It's a movie called, it's a comedy movie. It's not so much a horror. It's a movie called Bedazzled. I think it was made in 1967, and it stars the guy Peter Cook and Dudley Moore, the comedy twosome. Yeah, basically Peter Cook plays the devil, and Dudley Moore plays the main protagonist, basically the hero. And he basically like he makes a pact with him. I won't go into too much detail, but he makes a pact with him and that with the devil, like, and it doesn't go well. It's to do with his love, like basically trying to get the girl of his dreams and that. And we've all been there, haven't we? Yeah. So trying to get he thinks the devil will get him the girl of his dreams, but does he pay a price? There's always a price to be paid, guys, in these devil movies, isn't there? You can ask for all the gold in the world, but there's always a price to pay, and it's usually your soul. Yeah. So there you go. So check out Bedazzled. There was another one as well. There was a remake. I think it was in the 1990s or early noughties. Elizabeth Hurley played Satan, but wasn't as good. No, no. So yeah, I'd recommend the first Bedazzled. I think as it was made in the around about 1967, 68. Very good. I've got the DVD, but I'll hope to get the Blu-ray. But I wish Arrow or Vinegar Syndrome would release a good review. Not a review, a good good release of Bedazzled. We're all packed with special features. Yeah. So yeah, so that's another tip for you for a good devil movie, Bedazzled. Yeah, great one there. Oh, another one. I've got another one for you as well, guys. Torture Garden, kind of an anthology movie. Burgess Meredith plays like the devil, Diablo, in this like carnival, and the people go to see him, and that is where he is, and that performing. and he's got like this mannequin of a girl with like a holding a pair of garden shears, and each character goes up, looks into the shears, and the story unfolds then what they've done and that, what they're going to do, as is usually the case with these Hammer movies. And then when the story ends, the shears snap on the string and that, it's great. Check out Torture God. It's one of my favourites, anthology movies. I'm just trying to recollect in my mind other devil movies I can recommend. Yeah, another comedy one, the George Burns ones, Oh God, You Devil, with John Denver. They're quite good. It's ages since I saw them. Yeah, he made one called Oh God, and then Oh God, You Devil. George Burns plays the devil, so they're worth checking out. Yeah, I'm just trying to think of some more I can recommend to you. I might actually do a video, guys. Naming me my all-time favorite devil movies. So watch out for that. But while we're on tonight, I'll try and think of someone, roll them out to you. Whether you've seen them or not, you can let me know. The Omen's one of my all-time favourite devil movies. I love The Omen. The sequels are pretty good as well. Even the Sam Neill one. Kevin's saying most people consider Scars of Dracula to be Hammer's worst film. I know what Hammer's worst film is, and I'm going to say in a minute what I think, well, in my opinion, was Hammer's worst film. And you're right, Alan. It's a good one. I love it. Yeah, it's a great one. I think Slave Girls is Hammer's worst film. I haven't seen that one, Kev. I also like Lust for a Vampire. Top movie too. Yeah, as I was saying, Hammer's worst film is Demons of the Mind. In my opinion, it's an absolutely abysmal movie. It's just the story's all over the place. It's awful, awful acting, awful plot. A good remedy if you can't sleep, rather than take medication, just watch that, and I guarantee within minutes you'll be snoring your bloody head off. It's a terrible movie. Demons of the Mind. Studio Canal brought out a release of that. When they released all the Hammer films a couple of years ago with the slipcases. That one, avoid that one, Demons of the Mind. But that's just my opinion. Another one I'm not particularly keen on is the Joan Fontaine one. What was that one? Was it The Witches? Not too keen on that one. I think it was made in 1965 or 66. So yeah, but that Demons of the Mind is terrible. Definitely, I'm not too keen on Hammer's last vampire movie either. Either the Legend of the Seven Golden Vampires. I didn't like that. I didn't like the bloody kung fu in that, guys. All the martial arts. Yeah, Peter Cushing was wasted in that, and the Dracula in it. Oh my God, he was nowhere near as good as Christopher Lee. So if you guys have seen the Legend of the Seven Golden Vampires, you know exactly what I mean. It's a bloody load of trash. I hated it. I don't like kung fu. I'm not a great fan of kung fu movies, guys. To be honest. But bloody bore me silly. That's why I won't have any of the Bruce Lee films. They're the same thing. Not for me. Right, Vampire Jack says, I keep out of the sun for obvious reasons. Yeah? Well, yeah, you'll melt, won't you? Because you're a vampire. There's been the odd vampire, guys. I just thinking there, guys, there's been the odd vampire film where he's been out in the daylight. How'd you work that out? He's trying to do something different, weirdly. Yeah, get vampires walking around in the daylight. Seven Golden Vampires is the worst time. It's a terrible movie, Richard. I agree with. Yeah, it's awful. It was predominantly bloody kung fu, wasn't it? But even the story, guy, it was rubbish. It was terrible, awful. All things filling with yam yam. I'm asthmatic and suffer with bronchitis, so hot weather buggers my breathing up. Yeah, a lot of people suffer with that, don't they? Bronchitis and asthma. Yeah. Also, as you know, I suffer with permanent nerve and disc damage in my back, and hot weather flares are up. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, yeah. I see these people that don't understand that go on. Oh, why don't you like the hot weather? They shout you down when you go on Facebook and that. You say like you don't like the hot weather. Oh, we should be. We don't get it much. We should be made up. Well, yeah. Well, that's all right. All right with you. It's not all right with us people that don't like it. And some of these radio presenters say they go on so much about it. And some of them got really irritating voices, guys. Those radio presenters. I don't know about what you think. Oh my God, some of their voices again getting back to the claws down the blackboard. They seem to be like some of them seem to be like too happy in that. They seem to be too full of the joys of spring, especially when the weather's bloody hot. But yeah, they don't seem to realise even these weather forecasters. they don't seem to realise that there is people out here that do prefer autumn and winter and cool weather. As I said, don't get me wrong, I like the sun. I don't mind the sunny. I don't like the bloody heat with it that comes with it. I can take the sun, a nice September day with a nice breeze and that, you're not bloody sweating and that, and having to wear t-shirts and that. But yeah, I do prefer the winter. I've always been an autumn winter person. Always have, always will be. Jeff's saying, I like that one. Seven golden. But all right, well, everybody to their own taste, yeah. Brian, me too, right? That's fine, yeah, fair enough. And Tommy's saying, I dislocated my ankle, but I have to still go to work before I go. Which was your favourite Scream film? Okay, bye now. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday. Be safe, Alan, and everyone else. Oh, thanks very much, Tom. My favourite Scream movie, I can't comment on that because I haven't seen them all. So I've got quite a few to see yet. So once I've done them all, I'll probably do a Scream, Scream ratings, all my favourites. My most favourite Scream movie and my least favourite Scream movie. So watch this space. Kevin's saying the film with the young Dennis Waterman was a pirate movie. Can't remember which one, though. Could be Devil Ship Pirates. Oh yeah, it could be Devil Ship Pirates. Yeah, I'm not really a big fan of the Hammer pirate movies. Not being a great fan of period pieces, Kev. So, but you could be right. It could be one of the Devil Ship Pirates movies of Christopher Lee. I'd tell you a great little Hammer black and white movie I love. Never Take Sweets from a Stranger. Any of you guys seen that? Oh, it's a fantastic story. I won't give away the plot and that, but you want to check it out. It's great, yeah. That's a good. The other good one as well is Paranoid with Oliver Reed. That's a good little Hammer movie, yeah. So check that one out as well. And there's another one as well with Jenny Linden called Nightmares. That's a good psychological Hammer movie. Check that one out. Of course, Scream of Fear or Taste of Fear with Christopher Lee. But check those out. They're great. And of course, we must remember Hammer's non-horror movies, the On the Buses. Believe it or not, they were behind the On the Buses movies as well. Yeah, so if you haven't seen On the Buses, check those out. Scream 4 is my favourite, but I'm not a massive fan of the franchise, to be honest, right? It's fair enough. Tell you the movie I enjoyed recently, guys, and I did a review of it. It's not a devil-related movie, but very, very creepy one. A movie called Patrick. The stars the girl out of Bouquet of Barbed Wire. But yeah, it's a great Susan Penhaligon. It's a great little movie. It's about this guy, like he has an accident and that. And he's basically a vegetable and he's in the hospital bed. And he's got these big eyes bulging out and he controls things with his mind. It's great, yeah. What's the name's just come through the door this week? The sequel to Patrick, Patrick Still Lives, and the remake, Patrick starring Charles Dance. So when I've watched them, I'll do a review of those as well. But yeah. Oh yeah, I love Patrick. It's a great little horror movie. I'm looking forward to checking out The Eyes of Laura Mars as well, starring Faye Dunaway. That's just come through the door as well this week. I got that with two other in the indicator sale with the Oliver Reed one, Triple Echo, and First Men on the Moon. So I'm looking forward to watching them. Vampire Jack, I loved Last Voyage. Oh, you liked that one, did you? Last Voyage. I was very, very disappointed with that one. Yeah, I didn't like it at all. Very disappointed with it. I'm glad you liked it anyway, Vampire Jack. All things film with Yam Yam. Agreed, Alan. Believe it or not, I've never seen a vampire film in my life, apart from Nosferatu. I've never seen a vampire film in your life. Not what about Fright Night? That's a good one. Roddy McDowell. But I will say that vampires should not be soft, weak sissies, yeah? Vampires should be evil. Exactly. Like the hammer vampires of old, yeah. I don't like all this poster boy rubbish, True Blood and Twilight and that, and some of the vampires and Anne Rice's stories. Oh, big thumbs down to them guys. I don't like them at all. When I watch Dracula, I like him to be a monster. All right, he could be sexy and alluring to women, but at the same time, for goodness sake, don't leave that monstrous aspect out of his character, which was a big part of his persona. You know, he was an undead being. He was a nocturnal being that prowled around of a night, going into people's bedrooms and sucking their blood and that. You know, and it leave Dracula monstrous and terrifying. Don't start making him a bloody pin-up boy, for goodness sake. I hate that. That's one of my pet peeves, guys, about some of these vampire movies now. They're making the vampires too slushy, too, as I say, poster boys and that. It needs to stop. So say, if there's any movie producers watching this, take note and make a real good, terrifying vampire movie in the vein of Christopher Lee's Dracula movies, which, in my opinion, have never been bested. All things filmed with Yam Yam. Also, you've missed a lot of comments. Oh, I've missed a lot of comments. How come? I've been going down, like saying as many as I can. Sorry, no, you haven't missed comments. I'm watching this, not seeing things. So, oh, right. So, yeah, I'm very careful with the comments. Yeah, that's why I say to everybody, hang on, guys, I'm just catching up with the comments. Yeah, I'm very meticulous about that. Yeah, needs to refresh the screen. Fair enough, yeah. Yes, that's better now. Good. The comments are in sync with the video. My internet's been playing up the last 4 days. I know the feeling. Kevin's saying, if I were Christopher Lee, I would have enjoyed playing Dracula and the different variations of the character. Yeah, well, I think Christopher Lee deep down, he had a lot of respect for Dracula, and he had a lot of respect for Hammer, because a couple of the forwards he's written for books and that, and when he's commented on Hammer, he said, "I will always be grateful. I will always be grateful to Hammer Studios for for giving me the part of Dracula." So I think he did have. I think what Christopher Lee, in my opinion, he didn't like the character straying too far away from Stoker's novel. He wanted to keep the character parallel to the Stoker, the Stoker creation. He didn't like it. For instance, he didn't like Dracula being more brought into modern times. That was a big gripe of his. You know the story, don't you, guys? When he's nearly every Dracula, he's turned it down after the first one. But when the most repeated story was when, well, you've got to do it, Christopher. You've got to do Christopher. The studio executive said, but if you don't do it, you're going to put a lot of people out of work. And Christopher Lee says that was the only reason why I did another Dracula film. Yeah, the only reason. Yeah, but yeah. So as I say, and good, and we could all be grateful that he did do more Dracula movies after Dracula 1958, because he carved a great, he left a great legacy, didn't he, guys? Making all those wonderful Dracula films and all those other horror movies as well. But yeah, he was the best Dracula in my opinion. I think the nearest has come to him has been Bela Lugosi, of course, and Louis Jordan, which I hope to do a review of that, the 1977 TV adaptation, Count Dracula. And I like Count Yorga as well, Robert Quarry. As I say, he wasn't Dracula in name, but he was all but Dracula in name, if you know what I mean. He had to look at Christopher Lee. I've got the Count Yorga collection in the Arrow box set and that, but he was great. Count Yorga, yeah. But yeah, when it comes to Dracula, what can you say about Christopher Lee? Vampire Jack saying, The Rise of Leslie Vernon is a great found footage kind of movie. It needs a sequel, as I feel Leslie Vernon could become an iconic slasher. Is that the one where he's like on a found footage and he go around filming doing his murders? I've seen trailers of it. I haven't watched it right through. He had guts, didn't he? Following a serial killer around, and he's doing his murders. Brian saying to Vampire Jack, I totally agree, right? Richard saying The Taking of Deborah Logan is a good demonic film. All right. Haven't seen that one. All things film with Yam Yam. Brightest brilliance. Yeah, it definitely is. Yeah. Susan George looking as gorgeous as always. Yeah. I know what you mean. And a great film for those who haven't seen it. I highly recommend watching Price. It's in studio. It's a great one, that. It really is. Yeah, it's great, that one, Brett. Yeah. Love Price. And Jeff's basically echoing our sentiments. Yeah. Price is a great little horror gem. Yeah, it's a great one. I watch it quite often. Vampire Jack Fries, isn't that the British Halloween? Hello, Halloween. What's that? IRC. Yeah, it's kind of a babysitter babysitter, psychological thriller movie. All Things Film with Yam Yam. Fright, very greatly rewatchable, yeah. First time I saw it, I couldn't take it serious because George Cole and Dennis Waterman are all in my head. I was like, it's Arthur Daly and Dennis Waterman. I know, they're both in it, aren't they? Yeah, George Cole and Dennis Waterman, yeah. The incipient stages of mind, yeah. Arthur and Teddy McCann and Arthur. Price is The Escape Nutter starring Susan George. That's right, yeah. Yeah. Ian Bannon, isn't it? Ian Bannon plays the escape nutter, doesn't he? All Things Film with Arthur Daly and Terry McCann. I meant Arthur Daly and Terry McCann. Yeah. Remember Dennis Schwartzman in November in the autumn of 1980? I Could Be So Good for You. I always remember him performing on Top of the Pops and that, coming on with his chest exposed and that, and his shirts and that open and that, and the real Jack the Lad, winking at the girls and that, and the Top of the Pops as he was singing and that, yeah, real cool guy, Dennis Schwartzman. Yeah, he was very tough and Sweeney as well, wasn't he? He played George Carter. Very, very sadly missed to this day. Yeah. Yeah, he's great. Dennis Waterman. Real tough around the edges actor, wasn't he? What you saw is what you got, basically. He was in Just William as well, wasn't he, when he was a kid? Yeah, he was in Just William. Richard Brown, The Haunted Piano. My Old Piano. Diana Ross. Kevin William Wardle, Dennis Waterman was in Up the Junction. He was in Up the Junction, and do you know what, Kev? That's one of my all-time favourite kitchen sink dramas. I love that one. There was only one little thing I didn't like in it, and that was when Susie Kendall cut all her hair off. It was probably a wig, but oh god, it put years on it. Yeah, she cut her hair off, and it didn't she in that, at the end, well, halfway through the movie, yeah. But she's always had long blonde hair, honey blonde hair, hasn't she? All her films, like, The Bird with the Crystal Plumage and that, a very, very pretty girl. But yeah, that was the only thing that annoyed me. Why did she bloody cut her hair and that, yeah? Because I don't know about you guys, the girl's got long hair and that, and she suddenly, you get used to it for so long, don't you? I'm not just talking about movies now, I'm talking about anything really and that, and all of a sudden, you see her all her hair cut. Oh, what the bloody hell have you done to your hair? Because I love, like most guys, I like girls with long hair, and when you see it all cut, like, like I like Mia Farrow in it. Mia Farrow is an example in Rosemary's Baby. Guy at first he's stunned. What have you cut your hair for and that? Because I think it makes them look like men when he cut their hair too short and that. Especially having long, pretty, long tresses and that. He suddenly cut their hair. But yeah, that was the only downside. But otherwise, I loved the movie. Yeah, it was great. Up the Junction. All Things Film with Yam Yam. Um, can I watch Scars of Dracula without seeing any Dracula films, or do you have to watch them all for Scars? No, it's a standalone movie. Brett, it breaks continuity. It breaks continuity from the other Dracula movies that preceded it. So, if you've watched Taste of Blood of Dracula, you don't need to. You're quite surprised. Well, I was surprised when it broke continuity because you see Dracula back in his castle in Scars of Dracula, whereas at the end of Taste of Blood of Dracula, he dies in this sort of like a desanctified church in Britain. So yeah, so you don't need to watch. It's like a little standalone movie. Is Scars of Dracula, so you don't need to watch all the preceding Dracula films to watch Scars of Dracula on its own. And there's some elements of Stoker in that as well in Scars of Dracula, because Dracula crawls up, what should I say, down the walls of his castle like a big human lizard, which he did in Dracula. It's terrifying. He crawls down. He crawls down the wall and that. Like as I say, a big human lizard. Yeah. So there's strong elements of Stoker's novel in that. Yeah, give it a go. It's great. Do the stories carry on in Lee's Dracula franchise? They carry on up until Taste the Blood of Dracula, but then you get Scars of Dracula breaks the continuity, and then again they break continuity. They break continuity again in 1972 with Dracula AD 1972, because it starts off where Dracula is on board this runaway coach fighting with Peter Cushing through Hyde Park. It makes you think like, oh, what a story that must have been to lead up to this and that. He's fighting with Dracula in a fight to the death. and then the coach crashes, and now we've seen it. You know what I mean? They have a last battle, and that where both die. So that starts up again when he's in modern times, and then the satanic right to Dracula carries directly on from Dracula AD 1972. So the continuity starts in the Victorian days from Dracula 1958, and it carries on right up until Taste the Blood of Dracula in 1969, and then Scars of Dracula is a whole new, it's basically a standalone movie. Really, it breaks continuity. Some of the Frankenstein movies did that as well. He broke continuity with the preceding one, so you've got no worries there. But actually, you can watch that on its own. You don't need to watch the preceding movie to sort of like follow the story, if you know what I mean. We've got Kevin here, and he's saying, I had a few KTEL albums. Yeah, I had a few myself. Dynamite was my favorite. Dynamite was my favorite as well. Yeah, more than yet an album star. That's my cockatoo. Yeah, and what was it? Was Amarose, Kiki D, and Angel Fingers. My only gripe with them, Kev, used to cut a verse out, didn't he? To accommodate all the tracks. Yeah, they were the original artists. I was glad. I remember when I bought my first KTEL, I think it might have been Dynamite actually, in late 1973. I always remember going over to Liverpool with my mum, and she bought the 50s albums because she liked the 50s music, and I bought the KTEL. And that was actually, it was my first KTEL album, that Music Explosion in late 1974. But yeah, that was my main complaint about the KTEL. He used to cut a lot of the verses out in that, but the great little albums. Used to love seeing all the stars and the little circles on the front, on the big, the big title emblazoned on the front of the cover. It's good to see vinyl make a comeback, isn't it? Yeah, never have thought that would happen. Kevin says, yes, Scars of Dracula is very much self-contained. Yeah, it's got a great opening, fantastic opening. The Grey Man saying, I was listening to a Hammer movie podcast, and they talked about one called, I think, Don't Take Candy, Never Take Sweets from a Stranger. It is the one I spoke about before. I got that in one of the Hammer volume box sets. It's a great little movie. Yeah, yeah. It's more of a psychological thriller crime movie than a horror movie, but I would definitely advise you, if you haven't seen it, to check that out. It's got a great story, great solid cast, and that. Yeah, definitely check it out. Vinny, do you remember Rent a Ghost? I do remember Rent a Ghost. Not that I watched it all that much. Wasn't on a tea time. Does anybody remember a show called Tottering Towers? This is going back. This is going back years now, guys, to 1971. Tottering Towers. That was good. I think the guy who played Mr. Rose in it, William Franklin. I think it was William Franklin that was in that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I do remember Rent a Ghost. Yeah, yeah. Vampire Jack saying, yes, you can watch Scars without seeing the others. Definitely. Yeah. Vinny from the 1979. Yeah. Vampire Jack. Vampires can walk in daylight in Dracula. The sun thing was invented in the original Nosferatu, right? Kevin, The Devil Rides Out is a classic. The Devil Rides Out is definitely a classic, especially the part where Satan appears in the woods and that. Oh, in that ritual. Oh God. And yeah, and when he comes in on the horse and that, and the big giant spider. And Christopher Lee's a good guy for once in that, isn't he? Yeah, he plays the Duke de Richelieu. Yeah, I haven't read the novel, but oh yeah, I agree with you there, Kev. The Devil Rides Out is one of Hammer's greatest movies, without a shadow of a doubt. Kevin said, well, if you think Demons of the Mind is bad, try and see Slave Girls online. It's a real snore fest. Oh, God. You put me off it already, Kev. I think I'll give that one a miss. Vinny, in my opinion, the 1976 Omen is one of the best horror movies ever made. Totally agree with you there, yeah, Vin. I've watched it many times. I always love it. Always have a blast watching it. Billy Whitelaw, I think, is just as sinister as Damien, if not more sinister. So, playing the creepy Mrs. Baylock, especially where she finishes Paul Lee Remikoff. Yeah, but oh yeah, classic movie, The Omen. I absolutely love it. Um, Vinny's saying, and it still holds up today. Yeah, definitely. Jeff saying, yeah, I like Patrick. Yeah, it was good, Patrick, Jeff. Yeah, it's great. Vampire Jack, the original Omen is great. Yeah, definitely. I've got the Omen box set, the Scream Factory box set. Brilliant. What part with it? Omen 2 is a very good sequel. Yeah, I would certainly agree with you, Jeff. It is a very good sequel. William Holden, Cy Robson. Omen 2 has some good deaths in it. Yeah, especially the part with the blackbird pecking the girl's eyes out. Oh God, horrific. Cy Robson, The Lift, Frozen Lake, and Lady on the Roadside. Yeah, I don't think I've seen any of those movies, but they sound, yeah, I'll have to check those out. Uncle Frank says 30 Days of Night was an amazing and terrifying vampire film, and it was set in the snow as well, which I like. Yeah, I totally agree with your Uncle Frank. It was very good. Um, Vampire Jack, the original Omen trilogy is a personal favourite. Omen 4, not so much, and the remake is cack. Yeah, the remake was more basically word for word, wasn't it? And then I didn't mind that one with the little girl in Omen 4, but I do like the first three the best. I know the Sam Neill one gets quite a bit of stick, but I didn't mind it. I loved it. Yeah, I thought it was good. Yeah, very very sinister Sam Neill playing the adult Damien, wasn't he? Brian's saying you would like the film Red Mist. It's like Patrick about medical students who play a prank on the janitor and he ends up in a coma and starts to take revenge on them from his hospital bed. We'll have to check that one out here, Brian. I haven't seen that one, Red Mist. Yeah, thanks for that, mate. Jeff sighed. The start of Omen 2 is it's terrifying as the cave falls in. Yeah. Cy Robson. Oh, yeah, the beginning made me claustrophobic overnight, right? Brian Gilson to Uncle Frank. I love 30 Days of Night. Yeah, it's a good one, that. Vampire Jack, 30 Days of Night 2 is terrible. It is. It's awful, that one. I don't like that one at all. Not a patch on the original. The original was fantastic. While we're on the subject of vampires, guys, I'd like to say, getting back to Hammer, aside from Dracula, my other favourite Hammer vampires are the Karnstein family trilogy. The Lust for a Vampire, the Vampire Lovers, and that. They're great. Them, yeah, fantastic. Yeah. If you haven't seen those, I recommend you check those out. Yeah, based on the Sheridan LaFanu short story Carmilla. Yeah, definitely check them out. Yeah. So Ingrid Pitt's gracing them as well. She's been in a couple of those. Yeah. Vampire Lovers is a fantastic one, especially Jeff Joffrey. It's so well filmed, Si. It really does look like we're down there, right? All things filmed with Yam Yam. With you being a Leaf fan, do you think that if he hadn't have played the character of Dracula, so you think he'd be, so you think he'd because big as he is, do you think he'd be as big as by doing something else? Yeah, I still think he would have been big. Yeah, he had the talent, he had the charisma. No doubt about it. He would have been a big major star. Because he hasn't just made horror films; he's made other movies as well. One of my favourite non-horror Christopher Lee movies is The Man with the Golden Gun, where he played Scaramanga. But very, very versatile actor. Of course, he's been in Three Musketeers, hasn't he? Oh, he's been in loads of non-horror movies, hasn't he? But yeah, but I think he still would have been a big actor if he hadn't, if he hadn't played Dracula. But of course, that's what he's most noted for, isn't he? Playing Count Dracula. But it's a good point that actually. But yeah, I still think he would have been big, no question. Um, Vampire Jack, no. Jeff Joffrey. Sorry, I've never seen a good found footage movie. There's not many good found footage movies I can recommend, to be honest. Not a fan of the genre. Cy Robson, there's a Nosferatu remake coming out this year. Bill Skarsgård is playing Count Orlok. All right. Vampire Jack, watch Wreck. Yeah, I'll have to check Wreck out. Julie Kelsey, Late Night with the Devil was awesome. Went 2 times. Yeah, it was great, wasn't it? Yeah. Well, as I say, Julie, I can't wait to get the Umbrella Entertainment Special Edition Blu-ray. Yeah, oh yeah, real creepy at times and that, yeah, especially that little girl that came on, when she stared at the camera and that, I think she was possessed when she first came on, wasn't she? And then of course the medium, that gross scene with the medium. Oh yeah, it's a. I think that'll go on to be a real horror classic. That I'll be watched for many Halloweens to come. But I don't blame you going back to Julian watching it. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Richard Brown, I can't stand Bill Skarsgård. I hate his Pennywise. A lot of people don't like his Pennywise, and I so a big head and that, I prefer Tim Curry, if you do. Julie Kelsey, Richard, blasphemy. um, all things film, but yeah, Dennis Waterman in Top of the Pops with Home singing that song reminded me of his take on the great Tom Jones. I'm a big Tom Jones fan. I like Tom Jones myself, yeah. And my mum likes Tom Jones now. A couple of me relatives like Tom Jones. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, yeah. I remember that. I remember that Top of the Pops vividly from 1980 when he got to number 1 that year, like the winter of that year. I could be so good for you. Yeah. Then he did the song for what's the name, didn't he? It's all right, it's okay. For New Tricks, that was him singing that, yeah. Yeah, I think he made an album or two, didn't he, Dennis Waterman? But they're the only 2 songs I've really heard him singing. Julie's saying Wreck was good. Yeah, I'll have to check those Wreck movies out, Julie. I might get the box set. Is it Scream Factory done the box set? I might get the box set and check those out. I'm certainly going to check the Borderlands out. Yeah, yeah. I say even though I don't like found footage, I'm always open minded and that, So yeah, Vampire Jack. That's not unusual. Julie, just rewatch Rosemary's Baby. That movie's got a very high rewatchability factor, Julie. And as I say, there was parallels to be drawn between that movie and Late Night with the Devil in respect of the 2 main characters' behavior. As I say, Guy Woodhouse, he basically sold the soul to the devil, to further his acting career. And the guy in the chat show host in Late Night with the Devil, he so basically again sold the soul, the dark side, the dark aspect with his wife to further his ratings and that, and get it boost the show back up again. Very similar plots there. Julie Kelsey just watched the Crow original. I'm not really a big fan of that one, Julie. Julie Kelsey, Jacob's Ladder original, not the Bleep remake. Jeff Joffrey, what did you think of Nothing But the Night, Alan? It was okay. Yeah, it was okay. Yeah, Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee. Yeah, I've got the DVD of that. So I hope they release a Blu-ray of that. Diana Dawes was good at it, wasn't she? Yeah, I don't mind Nothing But the Night. Yeah, it's a good little British horror thriller starring the 2 icons. All things film. Yam Yam. Thanks, Alan. My pleasure, mate. Really appreciate it because I have scars of Dracula, so I'll hopefully be watching that one soon. But there's so much great horrors out there. I have a habit of rewatching ones I love. I'm the same. I'm the same, Brett. I watch a lot of horror movies that I love. I call me comfort movies and that. As I said before, all the Universal horrors, Amicus, Dracula, Frankenstein, Hammer, and as I said before, the Count Karnstein trilogy. Hammer, Lust for a Vampire, the Vampire Lovers, and that. Twins of Evil. I love all them. I'm not a great fan of Countess Dracula. I don't know what it was with that movie. I thought that was a very weak Hammer movie. Yeah, I don't know what it was. I couldn't really get into that one. But I love the Karnstein trilogy and that, And but yeah, that Yutty Stensgaard, the Swedish girl, she looks gorgeous. And I think she's in Lust for a Vampire. One of the most voluptuous, pretty girls I've ever seen in a horror movie. But yeah, you can't beat all those classics. Richard Brown, Jacob's Ladder, interesting take on a demonic film, right? Not a big fan of Jacob's Ladder. Uncle Frank Langella's 1979 Dracula is highly underrated. Have you seen? Well, it's funny you should say that, Uncle Frank, because I think it was around about just over a year ago. I did a review of that on my YouTube channel, and I'm not really a fan of it. What I didn't like about it, I didn't think Frank Langella was scary as Dracula. He put too much slush in it, and as I said before, I don't like a lot of slush and poster boy vampires in me horror movies. I like Dracula to be a real, a real ferocious demon, like Leonard and burning his fangs and his eyes blazing red. I don't like all this romantic, slushy poster boy vampire garbage, But yeah, it's not. I'm not a great fan of that 1979, but I do know a lot of people like it, and that's fine. Brian's saying, Julie, The Crow is an amazing film. Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, everybody to their own taste, Brian. All things film. Yeah, man. I need to explore more because I like to rewatch the film I like, and I've seen tons of horrors, but no vampire films apart from Nosferatu, and no werewolf films either, apart from American Werewolf. But if you're going to watch werewolf movies, make sure you watch Lon Chaney Jr.'s Wolfman movies from the 1940s, because as far as I'm concerned, he was the absolute king of werewolves. What I liked about Lon Chaney Jr., I've said it before, I won't go on too much, guys, but I don't want to sound like a broken record. But yeah, it's just to basically say Lon Chaney Jr., he put a lot of pathos into the role of Larry Talbot. You really felt sorry for him, just looking at his tortured expression and that, and some great scenes and that, really feel sorry for him. Particularly that scene in the Frankenstein Mr. Wolfman where he attends the festival of the new wine, and there's this singer. He's like clad like a Swiss yodeler. He comes up to his table saying, "May you live eternally." And Talbot goes off his head. Well, if you've seen the movie, guys, you know what I mean. He grabs hold of him. I don't want to live eternally. That's one of the most iconic scenes. But scenes like that, you really felt sorry for for Lon Chaney Jr. Whereas I've seen most werewolf films, they don't seem to mind being a werewolf. They're not really upset in that. So yeah, Lon Chaney Jr. I'd have to mention David Norton as well, an American Werewolf in London. What you've said, American Werewolf. He put some pathos into his role, and I think the transformation scene was one of the most painful, excruciating werewolf transformation scenes I have ever seen in horror celluloid history. Yeah, great the way they did that transformation. And tunes like Bad Moon Rising and that Blue Moon. Oh, it's an awesome movie. That, yeah, definitely. And I say Lon Chaney Jr. His Wolfman movies. Vampire Jack. Watch The Howling, Dog Soldiers, and Ginger Snaps. I love The Howling. Don't like Dog Soldiers, and I'm not pussy on Ginger Snaps, but I love The Howling. Um, Brian Gilson. The Howling and Bad Moon and Silver Bullets are great werewolf films to watch. Yeah, as I say, I love The Howling. Wasn't too keen on the latter two. Vampire Jack. Frank Nice, yeah, top movie. Lost Boys. And Near Dark. I don't think I've seen Near Dark, but I don't like The Lost Boys. I watched that a few times. I don't like it. I didn't like the story and that. I didn't like the characters. Yeah. So yeah, not for me. That Dog Soldiers is amazing too. Yeah, that's fair enough. I know a lot of people do like that, Brian. Brian to Vampire Jack, totally agree. Right. Um, Brett's saying, I rewatched Single White Female area. I love it. Basically, a lady becomes overly obsessive of those she's close with and copies their appearance and goes crazy and a loss of emotional baggage. I don't think I've seen that one, Brett. I'll have to check that one out, mate. Yeah, I've heard of it. Yeah, but I don't think I've actually seen it. Single White Female. Oh, thanks for that. I'll check that out, mate. Yeah. Jeff's saying, it's a shame they didn't manage to make a good sequel to The Howling. I know, yeah, the one with Christopher Lee, and it was all right, but it wasn't a great one, was it? The first one's the best with Patrick McNee. Yeah, again, they were the main werewolf movies, weren't they, guys? In the early '80s, the American Werewolf in London and The Howling, the main two. So, got Lon Chaney Jr. without doubt. He's my number one Wolfman. You know, he's fantastic. Vampire Jack sounds like several of my exes. Right, guys, I've got 5 minutes before I wind down for the night. So I'll try to get through as many comments as I can. Thanks again for turning up. I really enjoyed it and had some good subjects broached. And yeah, so, you know, I'll get through them as fast as I can before I log off at 10 o'clock. So yeah, thanks for turning up. I really enjoyed it. So I'll just whiz through as many comments as I can. Feel free to get your questions if you ask me anything within reason. Yeah, so thanks. Vampire Jack, sorry, 5 and 6, right, okay. Craig 1990, you any further forward on us seeing your it's coming, never fear, it's coming. Jeff, I only like the original Vampire Jack, right? Brett saying 30 Days of Night from 2000 is brilliant, yeah, definitely. Also stars my second favourite actors of all time, the gorgeous Melissa George, yeah, definitely. Tell you what, guys, that's an off blue tonight. Brian Gilson, she was good in Dark City and Triangle, right? Yeah, fair enough. Vampire Jack, Peter Cushing should have a posthumous knighthood. Yeah, he should have had a knighthood when he was alive. Fantastic actor. He made many great other non-horror movies as well. Yeah, always lifted the movie whenever whenever he was in it. Brett saying, Wreck is great. I also like the remake Quarantine, which became very popular during COVID. I haven't seen Quarantine, Brett. I'll have to check, as I said before, I'll have to check those Wreck movies out, definitely. Brian Gilson, the ending is really creepy, right? Vampire Jack, Quarantine is a good remake. I'd watch a third movie. There's another one, isn't it? Like a similar, like virus reflections of COVID called Contagion. I believe that's really is the way it was real creepy. The way they sort of like like a premonition of COVID. I'll have to check that. But it's a bit more, but but I might check it out at some stage. Brett's saying Borderlands. I'm just looking up now. Is it a sci-fi or am I looking at the wrong one? Borderlands is a kind of a found footage ghost hunting movie, from what I can gather. Brian's saying it's a British horror film about investigators. That's their haunted church. Christian Bell, you okay, Christian? See, Umbrellas are releasing a big ass version of Late Night with the Devil. I know, posters, books, and a VHS. I know, I'm going to get that when it comes out. It's got a few months to wait. Like Christian, expensive though. $130? You are joking. I'm not going to pay that for it. I'll wait till it comes down in price. You never know. Somebody else might pick it up, mightn't he? Arrow or somebody, or a Vinegar Syndrome. Brett saying, I've not seen Late Night with the Devil. I will like to have it to check out though, but I'm not paying $130 for a film I've not yet seen. Also, it's an insane amount of money for a film. I know, I agree with you, Brett. That's too dear. It's too exorbitant. Brett's saying, thanks, Alan. And yes, I do have some Lon Chaney's werewolf films in my collection, so I need to put them on my watch list. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you'll enjoy them. Yeah, he's a great character, Lawrence Talbot. One of the greatest horror characters in horror movie history. Vampire Jack, the Universal Wolfman movies, they do rock. They're the best, the greatest Wolfman movies ever made, yeah. And Lon Chaney Jr. should have won an award for playing that Wolfman. Oh, Brett's saying, single white female is getting a Blu-ray release. Good. Soon by Indicator, but the DVD is great, and I'll be upgrading to the Blu-ray when the price gets to about £12. Oh, great, yeah, I'll check that out, Brett. Thanks, mate. I'll definitely check that out. Brett's saying again, I forgot that 30 Days of Night is a vampire film, yeah, even though I've seen it many times. So I've seen two vampire films, Nosferatu and 30 Days of Night. I completely forgot it's a vampire film, yeah. That if you're looking for a good funny vampire film, have you checked out Sharon Tate's one, The Fearless Vampire Killers or Dance of the Vampires? That's a great one. That set in the snow and that, and her husband's in it, Roman Polanski. I'm going to do a full review of that at some point. I love that movie. My mum hates it. She thinks it's ridiculous the way the vampires they use the coffins for sleds and they go down the snowy hills chasing Roman Polanski and Sharon Tate as they're getting away in the horse and carriage and that, driven by the rather dopey vampire hunter. Yeah, but it's great, that one. I love it. Sharon Tate movie. Yeah, yeah. As I said, it's had a few titles. The Fearless Vampire Killers, Dance of the Vampires, which is commonly known as, when it's on the telly, and Pardon Me, but your teeth are in my neck. So yeah, if you want a good fun vampire movie, check that one out. And Thirty Main, he's really creepy as the main, the main vampire. Like he's like Dracula. Yeah, oh, I love that movie. Alfie Bass is in it as well. Brian saying, what films are you going to be looking for tomorrow? Well, it just depends. Like, just have a browse around the shops and that, and I might get the Borderlands and that, That's my first port of call and that, when I go into HMV, the horror section, obviously, and that. So, yeah, so I might pick the Borderlands up. Brett said, pardon me, but my teeth are in your neck. Is that the same one? If so, I have the DVD. Pardon me, but my teeth are in your neck. Yeah, Sharon Tate and Roman Polanski. That will be it. Yeah. One of my all-time favorites. My all-time favorites horror vampire comedy movies. I love it. And on that note, guys, I think I'll love you to leave us all. So thanks very much for turning up. I've really enjoyed it. Yeah, this special Devil Movies, live stream. And yeah, thanks very much for all your comments and that. It's great to see, me followers and that, me regular followers back again and that, and some good subjects broaching. I've really enjoyed it. So before I pop downstairs to grab me some supper, I always say this: if you're going to go Blu-ray hunting, Blu-ray or DVD hunting over the bank holiday weekend, I hope you manage to pick up some bargains. So we hope you have a nice bank holiday. I've got a nice bank holiday anyway, yes. So as I say, do some shopping over the weekend and that, and maybe add some final movies to me pickups, which is coming, which should be on my channel sometime next week. So watch out for that, me pickups, yeah. So yeah, again, I've really enjoyed it, now, So I'll have to check out that Borderlands and that. Thanks for that. And yes, so take care of yourselves and that. I've enjoyed it. Yeah, thanks for turning up. It's been nice talking to you all again. And all going well. I'll be back again. I can't promise next week, but maybe the week after. If not, the week after that, I will definitely be back again. As soon as I can with another Thursday night live stream. Okay, then, guys, that's it. Take care. Bye for now. Have a nice weekend.